Hello, Elle of Elle Management. Welcome back, everyone. I am so excited to be finally filming this video. This is a long time coming. If you go back in my channel, you will see that it's all about real estate, and that's what we are continuing on this journey, is talking about real estate. I want to come back. I want to talk about my salon suites business. I want to talk about my salon suites business course and the Airbnb business that we currently have. Right now we are actually filming inside one of our Airbnbs near Walt Disney. So this is a great place to come and film content, photo shoots, like I'm doing right now, a video tutorials, whatever you can come up with for your business, you can film it right here. So we do daily rentals and we do short term. So you can stay for minimum 2 nights, 3 nights, for a week, however long. We have some people do 2 weeks. So let me give you a little background. Number one, please, while we're here, we're actually washing clothes. So you may hear a little beeping from the washing machine. We gotta multitask, okay? So you may hear a little background noise. Usually I have my music playing, but I'm not doing that today because I wanna make sure it wasn't too loud. But let me give you a little bit of history. My name is Elle Berry. I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio, where I have always done real estate, from my property management business to selling real estate, investing in real estate. I have a couple of properties there as well. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, I moved down to Florida. I was actually in the Daytona area. And then finally, we kind of settled in the Orlando, Kissimmee area. Really do like it here. I originally came down here wanting to do something different than what I was doing up north. So getting into Airbnbs was exactly our motivation when we moved here. I will say that originally I was looking in the Daytona area, where I found out that that's where all that, where the government, I guess I should say, city officials didn't want people to do Airbnb in certain areas. So like, I know Atlanta, Georgia have pretty much shut that down. It was never available in Volusia County, which is Daytona Beach. I'm assuming because there are so many hotel stays along the Atlantic Avenue, that they didn't want so many people coming there and doing Airbnb and messing up the hotel business there. So we started to look around, found out that you could do it in Orlando, which made more sense because Orlando, Kissimmee area has Walt Disney. So my focus kind of changed, because if you think about it, even though Daytona is still a family town, you do get a lot of, students coming down. They have that, oh God, what's that called? Bike week and things like that. So you may come across people drinking and riffraff and things like that, which I really wanted to stay away from. So when I thought about the Orlando Kissimmee market, I said, yeah, that would be really, really great, because most people come down with their family, less drinking, less entertainment. They're really just coming down to experience Disney and all the attractions nearby. And I will say, now that I have done it, I would not change it. I would not go back to any other location. I recently even considered Vegas, because I want to do this in more towns. But again, Vegas is a town, what stays in Vegas, and it's like, well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and it's like, I don't want it staying in my Airbnb either. So I really feel like I'm just going to focus on this area. If I ever do go west, it might be Disneyland. Disneyland is in California. Disney World, which is the most popular, is in Orlando, Florida, or really Kissimmee, but for a popular town, Orlando. So yeah, I just want to give an insight on this journey. I feel like people should talk more about the journey. People usually just start this business and then want to jump into an ebook or a course. But I wanted to do something different, where I would talk to you about how long this journey took. It was about 2.5 years. And where we are right now, and why I decided to do more of a video to talk about it versus just trying to sell you something. I already feel like, especially with rental arbitrage, which is basically renting from a landlord and then putting the property on Airbnb, it's a good concept. However, the way they're teaching to do it, I think is incorrect. So I want to take you through the journey and then give you my opinion on why I feel that rental arbitrage can be done in a much better way. Stay tuned. So in this clip, we're going to discuss the journey. Like I mentioned, it was 2.5 years. Originally, when we came down to Florida, we settled in Daytona Beach, where we tried to get financing. Because we came down in 2020, you know, that was during the pandemic, it was really, really hard for entrepreneurs to get a loan. Even though credit was right, I had an over 700 credit score, I had down payment. I had just sold a condo in Shaker Heights, Ohio. So one of my condos there. So when I sold that, that's some, you know, I had down payment money, obviously, because you receive money when you sell your property if you have equity. So, you know, for a minute I was a little discouraged, and that's when I looked into rental arbitrage. What I've seen with that is it's more of trying to get you to talk the landlord into allowing you to rent, which I couldn't wrap my head around that. Why would I want to contact a landlord, tell them, hey, I'll give you more money for your property? That's one thing they say to do. So if the property $1,200, offer $1,500, let them know you'll do maintenance. And I get some of it, like telling them you'll handle the maintenance. That makes sense. I do that at the current one that I currently have. Again, excuse the noise. I hope you can hear me. They just started cutting the grass outside. It's a nice sunny day. You would think they would have waited till the sun go down. But anyway, yeah, so basically I don't feel that made any sense at all to try to talk someone into that. If I have a listing, like I said, I have property. If I have a listing and someone calls me and say, hey, I want to put it on Airbnb, and you know, I'll probably just hang up. That's not what I have it listed as. It's long term. Why are you trying to talk me into short term? It's not what I'm interested in. Plus, me personally, being the one who wants to have the Airbnb business, I don't have that time to go over a script and try to convince anyone to allow me to do anything in their house. So the secret is, people, and it's really no secret, find the location that you want and find landlords that are okay with you doing Airbnb. It's out there, it's in the listing. You can work with the agent to find out. I would suggest, you know, I know everyone's not here, but find an area with heavy traffic, with a lot of people coming in for an attraction, such as Disney. Because of that, people have property and it clearly states Airbnb okay as a rental. It says that. So it's not them saying they're going to list it and put it on Airbnb. It's them saying we want a tenant, a long-term tenant, and it's okay for you to do Airbnb. Some of them even have it furnished for you. So there's better ways to do rental arbitrage. Now, like I stated, originally I was in the Daytona area. That area does not allow it. So we took a moment, sat back, tried to figure out what to do. My time during Daytona was beautiful. I will say that I actually missed the town, but it's a small town and I'm more of a city girl. I like to know a lot of people. You know, I need a city with a little hustle and bustle, and because it's a beach town, small town, it was very relaxed, which is fine. I did come down to Florida to relax, but I still need that big city energy, that hustle energy where people are still working, and I just didn't see that in Daytona. The people that I met and interact with were just so relaxed, like even young people. They were just so content, relaxed with their life. They wasn't really hustling to achieve more. And I just need more than that. So my option was Jacksonville or Orlando. Now, I thought about Jacksonville because at this time, I opened up a salon suite there. No offense to Jacksonville, but it's just so far north that every area just didn't feel like Florida. And it's like, if I live in Florida, I want to see more palm trees. Even though Orlando don't have access to the beach, it's still like an hour away if you go Tampa, or an hour away if you go towards the Atlantic. So I decided on Orlando. I said I want to, you know, see what that town has to offer. So long story short, came here, started looking for real estate. I actually looked for real estate first before getting finance. Remember, I mentioned the last clip that they wasn't really doing financing for entrepreneurs during the pandemic. This was probably 2022, I believe, because I closed, no, it had to be the beginning of 2023. So fast forward, let me go back. I moved here 2020 November, opened up my salon suites business February 2021, and then started looking into the Airbnb. And then that's when I decided to hold off for like a year and a half, and then I started looking again. So fast forward, when I came down to Orlando, I came down in 2022, but I didn't start looking probably until the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. I closed on this location. This was actually a finance deal. So to give you a little history with that, I did an entrepreneur loan. That's where they basically don't use your W-2s, they just use your bank statements. However, please do understand that this loan is still available to entrepreneurs. If you have down payment money, I suggest to look into it. Go with that option if you feel comfortable, but you do have a higher interest rate and you do have to put down more money because you're only showing like bank statements. So because you're only showing bank statements, you definitely have to put down more money. So it just depends on how much money you have. So we closed on this property July 2023. We started the renovation process the next month in August. We pretty much gut this place. Everything's new, the paint, the flooring. We couldn't change the layout because it is a condo, but you know, painted all the doors, painted all the walls, brand new bathrooms, brand new kitchens, 2 full baths, 2 bedrooms, so pretty much 2 master suites, and just, you know, living room, kitchen, dining room. We're in the dining room right now. And let's see, pretty much stayed in the property during the renovation. It probably took to maybe October. We got ready to put it on Airbnb, ordering furniture. We used Wayfair, we used IKEA, Overstock, and Amazon, a lot of Amazon. And don't forget, Amazon sells some of like Wayfair furniture too. So I would say if you see something on Wayfair, look for it on Amazon, maybe a little bit cheaper. We furnished it and then we put it on the market December 19th. And our first booking was December 23rd, and pretty much the rest is history. From there into the next year, which is this year, 2024, we're still like booked out. Like we have some date, like right now today, we don't have a booking. They just left today at 11, and we don't have another booking until tomorrow. So this day was empty. So, you know, it'd be some days skipping, but every month we're pretty much booked out. So thankful for that. So blessed. Like I stated, location matters. That location in real estate is so true when it comes to anything you do. So do consider to look around. Even if you're not local, this can run if you have the right team. You may want someone to manage it. You may want to see if the cleaners can manage it. You need really good cleaners. There is I will put it in the next clip. There is a company, an app that's for hosts and for cleaners that you could use. I know it starts with a T. So just to throw that out there, I'm really giving you some gems in this video, okay? So yeah, that's the journey. And to speed it up a little bit, earlier this year, we actually opened up a second location, and that is the location that we did the rental. So we actually rented from a landlord and put it on the market. In the next video, I would definitely give you more details on that. Part 3 coming up. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back everyone. This is part 3 on my Airbnb journey in Kissimmee, Florida, part of Orlando. We are kicking off this video discussing our second location, which is through rental arbitrage. Rental arbitrage is when you rent from a landlord who knows you're putting it on Airbnb, and you put it on Airbnb. So, like I mentioned last video, we already had our first location that we renovated, we currently own, and we put it on the market. It was doing so well. One thing about Airbnb, the numbers really do matter. So you can make decent money, but the money you make is really in the amount of properties you have as well. So this is a numbers game. However, your first Airbnb, I know people, it can make you a ton of money. Ours have an HOA, so that does take up some of the money there. However, it was doing so well, we knew we wanted to open up a second location. Now, at the time when I searched for the second location, remember, I had in mind that this was a situation where I would have to convince a landlord to let me do it. So when I went online and looked up rentals in this area, I used the same zip code. It said Airbnb okay. And I was like, Airbnb okay? What do they mean? And I said, this area will allow, I thought it had something to do with the area. I'm like, this area will allow you to do Airbnb, or this landlord is willing to let you do Airbnb. Come to find out, I found so many rentals that stated that. And I said, you know what? I want to put this out there to people because they really think that you need to, you know, if you want to buy an ebook and get details, you definitely can. I commend you, go ahead and do it. Just research them, make sure they know what they're talking about. But skip all that script stuff, talking the landlord into allowing you to rent it if you want to. I don't know. Maybe if you come across a gym in a great location, you just like, I gotta have this one. I want to see if the landlord will allow me to do it. Go for it. That's just not my thing. I don't know. Because I even feel like too, you have to think if the landlord wants a long-term tenant, most likely they have a long-term contract. So then you have to make sure they revise the contract right. You might want to get an attorney involved just to make sure, because most leases state that you cannot sublease. So you want to make sure that's not in there, sublet or sublease. So, you know, things like that. But we can get into that in more further videos down the line. But again, so when I saw that, I called that landlord and I said, oh, this is a Airbnb property. And he was like, this is an Airbnb community. So, you know, the landlord allows tenants like yourself to rent it and then put it on the Airbnb. And I said, perfect. Now, the thing about this, if you notice, I have a distinct look with our Airbnb. It's very nice. toot my own horn, but it's really nice. Like our showers, our bathrooms, it's like spa. So to find a landlord willing to make their property close to that was tricky. This location I settled on because they had brand new, a totally brand new kitchen and bathrooms with the vanity. One of the bathrooms, this one is a 3-bed, 2-bath, the second Airbnb property we have. They didn't renovate the floors, but I decided to just, because I'm not putting that money in someone's establishment or home, I just decided to hire Stanley Steamer to come and blast them floors, clean them up. That's what they did. They look good now. If we owned it, we would do more renovation, but because we don't own it, no way. So because of that, we decided to do the art wall like we have here. We do art walls at all our properties. It's pretty much going to be our thing. Any place we go to in the living room area, it will have an art wall. That's like our thing. It will have a console table that you see behind me. This exact one is at the other one. We did go more with the furniture, like more, I'm not gonna say better quality or anything like that, but just more decor, more furniture at that location to really make you look at the decor and say, oh wow, this is so nice. Versus here, we didn't have to do so much, you know, decor and zha furniture because the place itself makes you feel like, oh my God, I'm in a spa. So that's pretty much the difference. And that's the only thing I would say. Owning, you can do what you want. You can renovate it and make it look the way you want. When you do rental arbitrage, you might have to settle a little bit, but I would say always look for new kitchens and bath. Painting is the easiest thing you can do. You won't care about that when you leave. You will, the place may have orange walls with a brand new kitchen. Just paint them walls white or off-white and it will just look like a new place. I would also say, you know, the floors. I don't like carpet. This place didn't have carpet anywhere. It's just some of the tile was a little older, which I didn't like. But like I said, once I had it professionally cleaned, it actually was better looking once it was really, really clean. But I would say stay away from carpet. You don't want to be responsible for the carpet with the people coming in and out. And then just, I mean, carpet in bedrooms, I guess is okay. But for me, I just rather have floors. It's easier to mop it, vacuum it, and, you know, mop it and be done with it. So that's pretty much the difference. And that's pretty much our journey. We are considering next year, since we did 2 in a year. Because it wasn't even that long, actually. We put this one on the market in December. We put the second one on the market the next year in July. So it wasn't even a full year before we moved on. Now we probably will wait a full year, let these numbers keep, you know, rolling in with the profits. Yeah, so that's our journey as far as the Airbnb ownership and Airbnb arbitrage. I don't feel like one is better than the other. One pro, like I said, about owning is you can make the place look the way you want. One pro about renting, you could look in a certain price point and that will be your price. You won't have to pay HOA, you won't have to do repairs on the place and things like that. We're solely at this location responsible to, you know, anything breaks down, we gotta pay for it. The HOA, we gotta pay it. There, I'm sure they wrote it into the price, and we kept the price at a budget that we knew we can get some income because we knew the numbers from this one. So we might actually be making a little bit more, coming out a little bit more better on the rental arbitrage. So don't be afraid to do that. If you can't buy right now, look into the rental arbitrage. I'm telling you, just see what works for you. If you're okay to convince a landlord to let you rent their property, do that. If you want to find places like we did that they already allow it, do that. Just check the location, figure out the kind of people, the kind of guests that you want coming in and out. Like I said, we didn't want parties. We get couples trips, which is totally fine, which usually couples trips people do drinking things, which is fine. But we noticed here, in our opinion, people have more control of keeping the house together. We've only had, out of all these bookings, oh my God, we've already had over 100 bookings. We only had 2 screw ups, one here and one at the other location. So yeah. And the first one, I'll talk about it. The first one was due to a young man, which is a cute little story. A young man, we figured he had his kids for Christmas. It was just him and the kids. And, you know, his kids was writing on stuff, markers. It was crazy. But you can't get reimbursed through Airbnb. You just take pictures. You notify the guests first. They have the option to pay. If they don't, then Airbnb will look into it for you and they will pay you. So we had no trouble getting paid at all. The second issue we had was a girls trip, I guess. They weren't coming for Disney, I guess. They actually were partying. Again, whatever, it's fine. But they left the house a mess, and they dyed the hair and damaged our sheets and stuff. So, you know, things happen. However, this is not every booking or every other booking situation. It's just out the blue, it happens. You know, every level of cleaning is different to people. So you're gonna come across some people keeping a little dirtier than others, but for the most part, you have a cleaning crew and you should definitely be fine. The last part 4 of this, we are going to discuss the cleaning process, and yeah, let's go into that. So stay tuned. Okay guys, welcome back to part 4, our last part on this wonderful Airbnb journey. I hope you guys enjoyed the previous videos and learned something. In this video, we're gonna finalize going over the cleaning process. This is probably the hardest part about running an Airbnb, at least for me, because my cleaning is top tier. So when I started this Airbnb with the first one, the one that we're currently in, that we own, I did the cleaning for almost 3 months straight. I wanted to do the cleaning because I wanted to know how long it took to clean the whole place, how long it took to clean each room, what strategy should I use to clean to make sure it's done before the next guest. What about the washing process? One thing I want to mention too, look for Airbnbs that are close to a laundromat. laundromat, whatever you want to call it. I call it laundromat. Laundromat. Make sure you find one close to that. I will tell you that has helped us where I had to run down the street, and I'm giving you my experience because I didn't think about that. I have a washing machine in suite. So having the laundromat down the street really came in handy, especially when it comes to comforters. So you really want to make sure, if you don't plan to run to the laundromat, to have really good washer and dryer, especially the dryer. Okay, you want to make sure everything, the ducts are clean to the vents are clean to the dryer. And yeah, because that takes up the time. The cleaning for a two bed, 2 bath, average about an hour and, excuse me, for when I was doing it, it was an hour and a half to 2 hours. But my cleaners are kind of like in the hour and a half range. But when you start washing 2-3 loads, usually we can only get 2 loads done. And that's doing one comforter. Now, mind you, you have to do a rotation of all the sheets, all the comforters, all the towels and things like that. So I actually want to open up a membership. Anybody who is running an Airbnb and need help or wants to get into the Airbnb business, I want to open up a membership group where we can discuss things like this, because I feel like people would tell you, because I looked into it, oh, get into Airbnb, make sure you have great cleaners, you know, talk the landlord into it. If it's Airbnb, Arbitrage, get 10 properties, you'll make $17,000 a month. But they don't get into the detail of just the cleaning alone. You have to make sure that your cleaners understand how you like things. You have to find cleaners that understand paying attention to inventory, making sure, hey, when you're down so much on supplies, that they notify you. You may find cleaners that handle the supplies. Do you want to handle the supplies, or do you want them to do it? For me, I don't want you bringing any other vacuum from another location into here, especially with this spot being brand new. Like, we're going to supply all that. And all the cleaning stuff we actually supply. They may bring some towels or rags or something like that, but literally we have everything here. They could just come up. So that's how I prefer it. I want to keep account on all the supplies. Again, if you feel like, well, that's keeping me too involved, then have them do it. Also, don't worry about the price, because the guest actually pays for your cleaning. So make sure your cleaning costs covers your covers your cleaning costs. And then if you do the supplies, that it handles your supply costs as well. And if you want to add a little bit to it to give yourself, you can. Totally up to you. But this, like I said, this is a numbers game. So you definitely want to look into that. Later in the membership, I want to talk about things like location, pricing of locations, what zip codes to look for, especially if you're looking in this area. I can be more specific to this area. Again, there are apps that you can utilize that I will present in my membership. Can't give it all away in this video, but I think I've given away a lot in this video. Hopefully you've learned something about it. Another thing I want to say about the cleaners is make sure they're in your price point. We found a lot of people, it was like a certain number that we kept getting that really wasn't in our budget, and we have to be able to find some cleaners that would do this for the price that we're looking for. We were thankful that we were. Great cleaners, super sweet. They take a lot of, I give a lot of criticism, and I'm just going to be honest. When I don't see something the way I would prefer it, so it's not that they were wrong, but it's just the way I would prefer it, I will let you know. And if we have to break ties, we can. Luckily with this company, we never had to break ties. We had some disagreements. Disagreements can be healthy. It taught me things, and it also taught them things. For instance, even though I'm a hands-on person, I don't want to be so hands-on where I'm asking you, are the cleaners en route? We should have some type of app where I can see that the cleaners are en route. And that's things that I taught them, just me being a businesswoman for 18 years. You know, I was able to sit down with them and tell them that, and now they're utilizing the GPS app where I can see, oh, they're en route. And if I don't see them en route, I'm like, where are you? That's when I would message them, like, where are you? But yeah, things like that. So, you know, I'm giving away some gems in this video, but it's important to be able to work with people that you trust. I definitely trust them. I'm thankful for that. Even in all my businesses, I have business in Cleveland, Ohio, Jacksonville, Florida, and here in Orlando. And the teams that I have, I can honestly say, is probably, besides my tenants, it's one of the best things about doing business in different cities when you get people you can trust. I've really been blessed with that, and I'm so thankful to that. So that's really important, relationships. So you definitely, you know, you want to find someone that's in your budget. You want to find someone that will listen to you, someone that you can trust and they trust you. You know, usually they start and you have to pay them when they're done. So they got to trust you as well. Like I said, to me, disagreements are healthy. You can learn from them. And luckily with this company, we definitely have. So it's been a great experience. I interviewed a lot of cleaners, probably a set of 5. They were the 4th. The 5th one, just because I already had it set up, but I pretty much knew when I talked to this guy and his family that I would work with them. So it's been pretty good for the most part. You're always going to have some type of complaints, but like I stated, the cleaning is so important. I think I left off with where I was handling the cleaning for the first 3 months, and then I decided, okay, now I know. Now if they tell me, oh, it took me 2.5 hours, why did it take you 2.5 hours? It takes 15 minutes to do 1 bedroom. It takes, I'm just throwing numbers out there. It takes 20 minutes to clean the bathroom. It takes 10 minutes to do, you know, the kitchen area or the living room area. How did it take you over 2.5 hours? What happened? Oh, okay, you were late. Now I see. You know, things like that. That's why you want to work within your business before you hire out. I don't care what your status is. I don't care how many businesses you have. I have a lot of businesses. I want to be able to start at the bottom of that business to see when I'm talking to the cleaners, like what you should and shouldn't be able to do. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have worked in the business. They would have told me it takes 2.5 hours. I would have thought that, and they would have had me paying for 2.5 hours. No, because I put in my time. I didn't just do it for a week. I did this for almost 3 months of cleaning. Okay, mind you, already running other businesses, salon suites and my sales business at home in Cleveland. I put the time in and I did my dues. Now I could put together a policy for my cleaners. I could put together timesheets for my cleaners, what it takes. So I'm very professional when it comes to working for me, as you can see, but I suggest that anyone should be professional in their business. So again, I hope that you learned something in this video series. I hope that you will join the membership. It is in process. We're going to be opening that up next year. So I think that will be really fun to have a community of people where we can, you know, get together and talk about the Airbnb business, and I can help you grow your business further. So look for more videos coming soon, and definitely look for the information on the membership. I look forward to seeing you there. Again, thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe to this channel. This is also going up on Facebook and Instagram. So just follow if you're on those networks. All right. Send me a DM if you have any questions. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.